afternoon and welcome to our first event. We've got our first exciting day of the SMITE Console League, the SCL. And things are going to really start off with a bang, honestly. We're starting off with North America, as just in the PC scene. We've got NA and EU. And we've got a whole bunch of teams as well. So why don't we take a look at some of the teams representing North America. Team Eager might be familiar.
Eager, very familiar, coming back from the PC side of things. They're very dominant in the console as well. Right next to them, recently acquired sponsor SOAR, formerly known as Everyday Carry. And then there's also Elevate, Most Wanted Esports, Noble Esports, and Kingdom Esports.
Yeah, a lot of these teams have some familiar faces. Eager, as we said, has definitely been around. SOAR, Everyday Carry, that's El Chapo's team, the one that Weekend was on a little bit earlier. Most Wanted features the likes of XxxLOU. Noble has some familiar faces if you look towards the Challenger scene, and a lot of those players as well should be a little bit familiar. So these 6 teams will be representing North America. Today we're going to start off with Noble taking on Kingdom. These guys are a mix of some Xbox natives and some PC characters. A lot of these guys we've seen at previous MLG events or otherwise UMG events as well. And then with the as Noble is concerned, these guys were a very successful Challenger Cup team on the PC side.
They have a lot of experience together. xxLOU along top of yoyoabc have been playing together for quite a long time, and they have that synergy together for a while. They also were playing with Junipera before. Now they recently acquired Grattywind as their support, so it's going to be interesting to see that duo lane.
Yeah, this is a long-time duo lane that has just recently moved apart, so Lou's going to have a new support. And the reason that Grattywind moved over from mid over to support was to make way for a guy named Supra. A lot of people have been talking about this guy being one of the new big heavy hitters in the console scene, so definitely some player that we're going to take a look at particularly. We're definitely going to want to see what he's going to pick. So without further ado, your first game of the SMITE Console League, we're bringing it to you now. It's going to be Noble versus Kingdom. Kingdom has got the first pick.
More than likely going to see some high-tier bands coming out. Probably going to see some Capris early on, more than likely. Maybe an Athena as well. Having an Athena, that global support for your support, the global pressure as well as the new composition between Noble as well. You don't want them to have that, so right off the bat, Athena going to get banned.
So these guys, Kingdom, if you're unfamiliar, starting from the solo lane will be Sealcar, jungle will be TsmaII, your mid laner is McSaltyCakes, your support is I'm Just Toasty, and then your hunter is Catalyyyst. Now Sealcar and Catalyyyst have been around the block for a while as far as the console scene is concerned. TsmaII also has dabbled here or there. Even Toasty wound up on Epsilon for a majority of the time on his time in the console scene. So Kingdom, a little bit familiar. They've got first pick. I want to see if they pick for Sealcar or Catalyyyst here, 2 of their stronger players.
Giannis is open, more than likely going to be first picked. I would like to see the mobility being taken right off the board for Kingdom Esports. You can't really go wrong first picking Giannis, whether you're PC or Xbox.
And it's going to be the Jing way, so Kingdom certainly prioritizing the pick for Catalyyyst. We've seen this character do very well in the PC world, and to the point of being first pick. So Kingdom is certainly going to go that way.
Looks like Kingdom wants to have dominant control in the dual lane, picking up that Jingwei this early on. It's going to be able to clear really quickly, having the throwing dagger with the explosive darts and being able to rotate with Jingwei's passive whenever needed, picking up those bad harpies every single time they're up.
So Noble, we already brought up Lou. He's going to be your hunter player, but starting from the solo, yoyoabc will be playing in the solo. Shame will be playing that Hunbats in the jungle. Supra, that's the guy we were talking about being potentially the big heavy hitter. He's going to pick up the Scylla in the mid lane, and then Grattywind will be the support here for this squad as well. And similar to Kingdom, a lot of players here have been in the professional console scene, specifically Shame and yoyoabc. yoyoabc played on the PC version of this squad, and Shame played at a number of MLG lands under different teams.
It's an interesting mix to have these diverse group of players together under one squad. You can bounce ideas off of each other and then try to figure out a really good strategy together. Scylla with the Hunbat specifically, there's going to be good displacement with the Hunbats if there's any purification down. Scylla's going to be able to capitalize on it, and then Sobek on top of that is going to allow for more setup for the Scylla.
Yeah, Scylla just going to be that late game carry that we're so used to seeing, able to just blow up and really change the way team fights go at a moment's notice. Kingdom, on the other hand, certainly looking to isolate a single target. They've got 2 options for that as well. Nemesis can ult, and then players can all dogpile. Kumbhakarna can knock the target to the top of the sky, or honestly, you could just do both.
There's a lot of disruption already from Kingdom Esports. Just with that one single Kumbhakarna pick that can also set up the knockup from Jing as well. Whoever gets rooted or mesmerized by Kumbhakarna Nemesis kind of makes me believe that Kingdom is going to go for kind of an all-in strategy. They're going to try to isolate the Scylla away from a teamfight, get her away, and allow the rest of Kingdom to just run rampage.
And I love the bans coming out from Noble Esports as well, because they're going directly in that area. You see the Zeus and the Giannis come out immediately after. That's going to ensure that Giannis won't allow him and his team to get away from the nonsense that Scylla's going to give. And the Zeus, well, without him there, Scylla will actually be able to deal that damage because he won't be standing in a rainstorm. So intelligent bans coming out from Noble will force the sole pick for Kingdom Esports, which will likely be in the mid lane.
Soul is going to be picked up. Last remaining pick for Kingdom Esports, more than likely, is going to be the solo laner. There are a few options available. Tier Vamana, Bellona is quite available, but it's going to be the other bully, Ravana.
Old-fashioned character, just going to sit up in your front line, beat you down, slow you up, just make life pretty miserable for anybody that's trying to deal damage to Kingdom's backline. You're going to expect Jing and Soul just to sort of sit from the back, toss out damage, and Raven's going to try and protect everybody along with Kumbhakarna. Noble's got a last pick as well. What counters Raven here?
I would say Bellona would be a good pick if you're going to try to match fire with fire in the early game. If you want to play it really safe, you can go with the tier later on. Your team fights will be a lot more dominant. Your fearlesses will displace targets really well, and that'll set up the Scylla quite heavily in those mid to late game team fights. So I would be looking for tier personally if I'm Noble.
So they've got a couple of seconds to pick, and it looks like the option that Noble is going to round out their draft with is going to be thought about for a little while longer. It's going to be the tier, right as you said. And that's production. These guys did get their pick in time. So tier will be the solo, and that's going to work out well against Ravana, as Toli said. So Scylla, Batz, Sobek, Apollo, and tier for Noble versus Jing Nemesis, Kumbhakarna, and the Soul and the Raven off the bat. You can already see TsmaII taking a little bit of poke from the basics out of Apollo. He's going to go ahead and back and heal up. And just off the top, Toli, nothing really surprising as far as the builds are concerned.
Looks like both teams just opting to ward the solo lane side, making sure that both the jungle/solo laners aren't going to try to pull a fast one on either one of them. So just covering their options in the early game and playing very safe.
So here we see Toasty hanging out on the Kumbhakarna. This is such an exciting character. I love Kumbhakarna. I think he brings a lot defensively by way of just ultimate peel, whether it's Mez, Root, etc. But at the same time, he's also hyper-aggressive.
He can be very aggressive. The fact that his ultimate is shorter than 90 seconds specifically. It used to be 60, now back up to 75. It does a lot of damage as well. If you put Magai's Blessing on him, put Shoes of the Magi on him, he's going to be doing a lot of damage just with that one ultimate.
I mean, we've seen him played solo. We've seen him even playing in the jungle by weekend, and it actually sort of works, believe it or not. A lot of damage coming out from Kumbhakarna. And paired up with the Jing they're going to have the potential to really burst these players down.
And it looks like the strategy that Kingdom opened up with, they neglected to do all three back camps on the dual lane side, and they're going to get to lane at level 1, whereas the Apollo is going to get into the dual lane at level 2, so they should have a slight advantage coming out of Noble.
Kingdom just hits level 2. They do get to the wave faster. That's the trade-off for not taking out those back camps, and that's going to allow Kingdom to be a little aggressive. Toasty drops down the route. Not too much follow-up, however. As we take a look at the solo lane, where Sealcar is just beating up yoyoabc.
So the problem with the dual lane strategy was, yes, you get to lane first, but however, after that one aggressive wave now, the Apollo is going to hit level 3 before you if they clear the wave first out of Noble, so they're going to be able to play aggressive shortly after this wave.
So that single wave might not have been worth it. We'll have to watch this one a little bit close. Toasty finds another route, and the knock-up from Jing off the mark, and there's another knock-up from Sobek, and Toasty's in some trouble. No dash available. A couple more basics from Apollo, but he can't find them. Dashes forward, still missing. And the dodge from Toasty, he's going to be safe in the jungle. Jing going right towards her tower. Noble Esports cannot find the basics. And a dropped kill for Lou.
Really impressive jukes coming out of Toasty. This is a win-loss situation because now you sacrifice experience out of your support. However, the Hunter is going to pick up that lack of experience as well. As we do see a first blood coming out of the tier into the solo lane.
Solo kill going the way of yoyoabc. Sealcar can't handle it. And the first kill goes to tier. Over in the solo lane for Noble. And that's certainly, I mean, anytime you let Tier get a first blood, Tier's that character that he's going to play defensive, he's going to be controlling, but if you give him a lead, he can murder you.
He's usually one of those characters that struggles up until level 7 when your heal comes online. So the fact that the tier was able to get such an early kill is going to allow him to extend this little bit of a lead in the later stages of the laning phase. He could be able to invade the blue buff whenever he wants to, proxy the wave, steal the back harpies as a result.
Apollo's getting aggressive. Mez not going to find it. And the dash from Jing going to be strong. Ultimate has been available for Shane, but not going to be activated. He jumps in, finds a slow, and I like that choice totally. I think I think it's very easy to say just drop the ultimate and see what happens, but Batz is so reliant on that ult. If the kill doesn't result, it's a complete waste.
It was a little bit of a bluff that Shane wanted to do, and it's going to use it in the mid lane instead.
TsmaII gets aggressed on, a lot of damage. Cheeky bounce coming out from the monkey, but not enough to find the kill onto Nemesis. No ultimates expended either. As you can see, Super still has that I'm a monster.
So with the Batz ultimate being down out, Nemesis is going to have to back. As a result, red buff is going to come up. So that could be a point of contention coming out of Noble.
Yeah, so Noble, they're leading by 1 zip at the moment. We missed a kill over in solo lane, so why don't we take a look back to see how that went down. yoyoabc on the tier took advantage of Sealcar. Very low, and it's going to be all about the baits, folks. You can see yoyoabc about a quarter of HP, and Sealcar a little bit more healthy.
You have to take into consideration as the tier can get you under the tower. We'll see if that's exactly what happened with the Ravana. He's going to take the aggro of the archers. That's what happened. He poked out the tier. He got the aggro of the archers. yoyoabc, by fearlessing him away from the wave, the tier didn't receive any of the archer aggro.
And just a smart play, just opportunistic coming out from the tier player. There's quite a different story. Sealcar just gets completely surrounded, but uses the ultimate to get out of jail, finds himself underneath the tier 1 tower, but everybody on the side of every team is pretty much here on the right side of the map, Toli.
And it looks like the blue buff is still available. The Soul might have been able to secure that one, as Ravana doesn't have teleport available to him. He's going to have to walk back to the lane. Pressure on the speed buff, but it doesn't look like Noble is going to commit. The Batz ultimate has just come back up, so they're going to actually disengage from that. As on the dual lane side, there's going to invade.
And this will be a good play coming out from Kingdom Esports. They did secure the blue buff in time for Ravana to pick it up. That buff stays on the ground for 30 seconds, so Ravana was back at base. He should be totally fine to pick that up. Good use of the ultimate coming out from Soul to really secure that buff.
And that's the strategy that Noble can try to exploit. The fact that the ultimate is down for Soul can mean it's a lot easier to dive the Soul, not having to worry about all that burst damage coming up. Both left and right mid harpies are up. This is the time that Noble Esports could exploit that fact.
And with that, Sobek certainly looking to get aggressive. Goes right onto TsmaII, and we can see yoyoabc dealing with Sealcar, but TsmaII can't deal with the rest of Noble. That's why the rotation from the mid laner shows up. And Toasty, nowhere to be seen.
And with that, it looks like left side mid harpies are going to be conceded by Kingdom Esports. Noble Esports is going to pick that one up. So far, right side mid harpies are still available as the Batz does regroup with his supported mid laner.
Pretty standard builds coming out here, I'd say, Totally. We see some of the physical protection being built by the tier. I expect that to be a breastplate of valor. Nothing too out of the ordinary, honestly. Do you expect anything really different from any of these gods coming out today?
At the moment, not necessarily. We'll see how all these builds transition in about 5 or so minutes once there's some serious contention points, whether there's more invades around the blue buff or whether there's going to be some Gold Fury baits.
And just how far ahead tier gets, right? That's always fun. Really, I think Nemesis is one of my favorite characters to watch as far as the build progression. There's so many different options. I think Nemesis has seen the most success recently being very tanky and just being this frontline bruiser with a lot of CDR, but that in-hand chin side build still exists. We see aggressive Jotun's Wrath as well, so definitely a lot of different directions for the Nemesis to go into, and really curious to see what kind of player TsmaII is.
You could definitely see one of those strategies where the Nemesis is going to try to isolate the Scylla away from a team fight, or if they're going to try to build that penetration and get a tank online. Nice juke coming out of the Sobek. Charge Prey avoiding the Sleepy.
Yeah, quick dash, and here's a quick fall coming out from Lou. He's looking for aggression, and McSaltyCakes going to go and dissipate all the way away. So the ultimate from Sobek, not going to really do much of anything here, folks. Noble Esports lose 2 of their ults with Lou and Grattywind down. Might be a little bit difficult to fight into this.
Blink Kumbhakarna forced the purification out of the Scylla, so a little bit of an advantage coming out of Kingdom right now. They could use that in the future in about 30 to 60 seconds. They're going to look for that play again. Yeah,
with that much time left on the purification, certainly Scylla is going to be a target for Kingdom Esports. The ping's coming out. Nobody wants to get too aggressive on the right side, looking for that fight by the Harpies. Sobek looking for a pluck, though, getting blocked by the minions, finds a knock-up. Not going to aggress on TsmaII, and I like that play. A lot of players around him would have made that very dangerous. Instead, he'll just get rooted and trade a chunk of his life for the aggression.
He realizes that if he does come in with a pluck, he's going to get instantly targeted by that Nemesis ulti. Soul's going to be doing a lot of damage as well. So playing it super safe, clearing the wave, and poking out T-Small at the same time is a good multitasking by Grattywind.
And I like that, and I like what he's doing there. He's getting the positioning where he's going to pluck, but like you said, if he does, he knows he's up in the air with Kumba, Nemesis ulted, and probably dead. But just keeping that thought in the enemy's mind is very important to what Sobek brings into the lane. And Noble Esports going to walk out of the lane and go directly to the objective. Gold Fury already very low. This one's going to go down. Noble secures it, but Catalyyyst takes out Grattywind. Knocked up in the air by Kumbhakarna. Down comes the target, and yoyoabc in some trouble, but there's the counter engage from Shame. Drops down the totem and sends everybody running. T-Small picks up yoyoabc. 2 members on 2 members, but safely under the tower is Scylla. As we see Mr. McSaltyCakes not able to even join the fight.
And now with those 2 picks, I like the idea that Kingdom Esports has right now. The blue buff was stolen, red buff is being contested. Gonna get dropped, however, going for the kill. However, Toasty still has aggro. Red buff going into the favor of Kingdom as well. Sealcar also looking like he's gonna steal the speed buff. So even though Noble was able to pick up this gold fear, they lost 2 members and 3 buffs, and they're boars.
Still in the lead, but not as drastically as you might expect or want to be after that gold fear. You can see the dip come down and then immediately answered back by Kingdom's ability to capitalize and find things in the jungle, etc. So good job coming out from Kingdom to really mitigate a lot of what Noble was able to do with a good call. That was a very good Gold Fury call. And it wasn't even that the retreat was botched. It was just a Catalyyyst got in there too quick and was able to just crit somebody down immediately.
It was a very aggressive call coming out of Noble Esports. It could have potentially been synchronized a little bit better if the tier teleported with a little bit more mana, if the Scylla got off her damage. The fact that they all grouped up in that one little spot allowed Kingdom Esports to do a lot of their AoE damage in that one area.
Shame was a big part of that and the reason that Noble only lost a couple. Shame's ultimate counteracting the engage coming out from Kingdom was a very big deal. Saved the life of some of his teammates. Not all. As you can see, 1 death on the side of the Croc, 1 death on the side of Tier. So Noble now trailing in kills, at least 2-1. Other than that, pretty even game here, folks. Now it looks like Grattywind's going to be aggressed on. Yawn into the root, going to be dodged out thanks to the ultimate. And Shame's here as well. Ultimate is available for the monkey, so he does have that tool. But ultimately, Noble not going to choose to engage.
Grattywind just using his ultimate, making sure that there was going to be no Kumbhakarna ultimate after the root, valuing his life more than potentially living with less than 10% health.
So we'll keep an eye on that and see if there's anything that Kingdom can do with that Sobek ultimate on cooldown. I mean, Sobek ult does a lot, right? It's great during mid-team fight to slow everybody down, and it does a good job at zoning out players. But I think it's a little bit different than like some other abilities that go in cooldown. You're able to immediately find something to do with it. What do you do when Sobek ultimate is down? Is that a huge engage tool?
Well, at first you have to run away because that's going to do a lot of damage to you. When the Sobek charges, when the Sobek ultimate is charging all the way,
just get out.
You have to run away. That's exactly what the Kumbhakarna did. And yeah, you could use that to exploit because now they don't have the CC immunity, the Sobek, so you could exploit it and go again for more Kumbhakarna CC. You have the Sleepy, the Root, and the Knockup as well to your arsenal, so you could definitely find an exploitation there.
So it's more about, with the ultimate down, Sobek is more vulnerable rather than the team with some of the other ultimates that we see. Sealcar, certainly vulnerable because Shame has his ultimate available. Bounce not going to be in his favor, so the follow-up not going to be there. Shame has to fall back, but good poke going out onto Ravana. Toasty now going to root down Supra. Not even going to look at the target. Supra knows he's totally fine. Well done.
Really nice try there by Kingdom Esports. Unfortunately, the Soul used her Stellar Burst right before the root came out, so not going to connect onto Supra. Going back on the Soul lane a little bit, the Tier has been using a lot of his mana very quickly, and now that the Breastplate of Valor has come online, he's going to be a little bit more efficient having that extra mana available to him. And now, especially with the blue buff coming up before, because the fact that the Gold Fury was done by Noble Esports and the Ravana picked up the blue and the speed away from Noble is what allows him now to have this 2-level advantage.
And the blue buff goes the way of Sealcar. That's going to be problematic. It's picked up by the solo laner. Ultimate from TsmaII already on yoyoabc. And Tier's actually going to turn around. He wants a little bit of this because he knows that Grattywind's here. Plucks TsmaII in the opposite direction, right into Shame. But a quick double dash brings him out of the clutches of the monkey. Overhand smash coming out from yoyoabc, who finds TsmaII, feel his power cleave, but walks away and avoids the mez. Well played, but it looks like he's going to be toast. Support comes on top, and Toasty takes out ABC. Fire Giants pull just a little bit. Grattywind uses ultimate to slow down everybody. Supra looking for a target. Can't find it as it's dodged out by the Soul, and down comes Lou looking for another target, and on the backside it still continues. Sealcar in some trouble, gets mezzed out. A couple of basics will secure it, but he dashes forward, doesn't have the kick available, adding more after he avoids the damage coming out from Lou, and the basics can't be found until the pluck comes, and Sealcar falls down to the hunter.
And now Noble Esports have to capitalize off this. The fact that that member is down right now, the speed buff is available, but they're going to go back to the lane. They're not going to take advantage of the fact that the speed buff was available right there. Normally, if we're on Fire Giant, you just got a bunch of kills, or they have to retreat. The enemy has to retreat because they're so low. You have to look for those buffs whenever they're available.
Yeah, I think that they were. Catalyyyst was full HP, ready to fight, so that might have deterred the team Noble Esports really from going too deep, but definitely had the numbers advantage.
And that's one of the advantages that Jing brings to your team. There is a Fire Giant fight. Even though she got there very late, she pushed a wave, got more experience and gold than the Apollo did in that one team fight, and now rotates over to cover the option, even if there was a speed buff invade. So good rotation by Catalyyyst.
Yeah, Catalyyyst just able to really be all over the map on this character. Certainly one of the characters that some characters get adopted a little bit more quicker than others. We saw Circuit take a long while to really get into players' arsenals, whereas Jingwei, week number 1, Ataraxia on PC picked her up and pretty much has been played ever since. Whiff coming out from yoyoabc.
I like to see the try, even though that did not connect for Yo-Yo. The fact that if he did connect onto the Soul would have forced the Purification, which would set up your team in the future in the next team fight.
Yeah, the Blink tier, certainly one of the more exciting choices to really come out of that solo lane, totally. You get one good Blink Fearless combo on an unsuspecting mage that doesn't have the beads available, and I mean, that's just instant death.
And that's why Noble Esports are electing to pick up the tier over the Bologna during the picks and bans. They wanted to go for more of a team fight disposition, wanted to get anyone from Kingdom Esports out of position with the Sobek and with the tier.
And Shame's going to put Toasty out of position. Good CC coming out from the jungler, but Toasty answers in kind. yoyoabc on the other side as XxxLOU just piles these basics into the target. Good dodge from Toasty, going to avoid the ultimate out of super, which could have snowballed, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. As Noble now on the back foot, ultimate's now down pretty much for the red squad. You can see Catalyyyst zoning, looking for a lurk kill. But eventually everybody will be fine, and Kumbhakarna will res. Not going to quite fall thanks to his passive. And a good play from Kingdom to really isolate Noble away from their target.
A lot of relics and ultimates and passives were used during all that. And the tier, despite making a presence in the mid lane, going to go back to the soul lane as well as he's going to back. His teleport is available to him, so he should be able to cover that option. Golfier is available and exposed, so Kingdom Esports, if they recognize that Noble is not in position, they can maybe bait out another fight.
Yeah, I kind of expected Kingdom to really commit to that one. They know that Noble is chased out. They know that there's not a lot of options for them as far as ultimates are concerned. Shame and Super Ultimate, definitely two of the more big tools for Noble to really contest the objectives, whether it's Fire Giant or otherwise. That Fear No Evil disrupts everything, and then of course Scylla, I mean, she's going to hit you for 1,000 and steal your objective anyway. So with those two down, definitely opens up a couple of doors. But Kingdom going to go ahead and take the fight to the solo lane. Yo-Yo versus Sealcar. Sealcar with a level on his opposition. This lane's been going pretty interestingly.
Not as much mana as the tier right now, so should be able to go into the tier's advantage right now. Ravana does have Meditate available, so he could be looking to try to go for a bait kind of play. Maybe have the tier go into the tower line, and then as soon as Ravana is low enough, pop that Meditation to counteract that.
Yeah, there's a lot of tools that you see Sealcar has at his disposal to really trick tier into taking the bait. The tower is very low. Sealcar is about half HP, no mana. Does have that meditation available, so if Yo-Yo goes a little bit too deep, Sealcar can definitely turn on him.
He also has the teleport available to him to allow himself to get back into the lane. And if I'm Yo-Yo in this position, once I see the Ravana teleport here, I'm going to be making that play and the call, recognizing that the timer difference between my opponent and myself is going to be about 90 seconds.
And so as soon as the teleport comes up for tier, expect that Gold Fury teleport. But here's a gank over here in the solo lane. TsmaII and Kumba target one player. yoyoabc in some trouble, finds the ultimate away, and Shame makes sure nobody can follow up. Sealcar might think about diving here, but it doesn't. Oh, it will be. Sealcar going deep. yoyoabc blinks behind. Quick moves, but here comes TsmaII. One hit will be good, but they just can't find it. Good
During all that, Noble Esports actually picked up a Gold Fury on the other side, so really good recognition by them, being able to capitalize on the heavy rotation from Kingdom on the solo lane.
And because of the Gold Fury, Kingdom now hard committing to this tower. They realize they can't just dance around it. They gave up something huge, the Gold Fury, so they have to get at least something. Noble takes the lead with the Gold Fury, so Kingdom takes 500 gold back off of the tier 1. Now TsmaII fighting with the mid laner. I like the delay on that crush.
It was really nice. He had his back turned. Once he heard the Nemesis shield, he didn't even bother popping it. However, if he did take a quick peek, there was that small interval window where he could have popped it, still doing more damage.
Better safe than sorry. Super gets out. Doesn't deal any damage, though, because of it. Intelligent play for the mid laner. Definitely like to see those are the small things. When I'm getting used to a new crowd or a new team or hear a whole new scene, I like to see those little hints of just how deep you're going to play it. Just to, okay, he didn't pop it because he heard the audio cue. Is very interesting to see just how deep Super can go. So I'm excited to watch this guy.
It's going to be interesting to see how these two teams transition later on as this scene progresses during this split. This is currently the first week of the SCL, and there's a lot to play for every single team right now.
And that's one of the more fun things. You always see me tweeting out how much I love these console dudes because they've been doing it for about a year and a half now, maybe 2 years with MLG and UMG and everything in the past. And there's a lot of personality here, but more importantly, the gameplay. We've seen the gameplay improve drastically, very quickly. So now that there's a league setting, that just allows teams, because you have a schedule, you know you're going to be playing against teams, you get to build strategies against specific teams. In general, the skill level just goes up from what I've seen when you put players in a league setting versus just random tournaments.
People are more hungry now as a result. Whenever you have a structure and a foundation to work off of, now you build that structure, foundation, transition that into your team. There's the league, there's the team, and then there's the individual players involved as well. So everything has to be well organized, well constructed, and then it transitions into the game and how well you execute as a team moving forward.
Much different feel than 8-hour open bracket weekly tournaments, huh, Tully?
Those were the days, actually. I would wake up around 10 o'clock in the morning. We would start around, I want to say 11:30 or so, something like that.
Hot play from Lou, getting out of jail. Quick Maz and a dash away saves his life. Turnaround from Noble. Might be in the cards, but Kumbhakarna from behind going to throw a monkey wrench in that one. Up to the sky goes Scylla. Toasty looking for the root as well. Jing going to take out Super. A good play coming out from Kingdom. All brought to you by Toasty's sneak attack from behind.
That was beautiful. The Kuma knock-up into the Jing knock-up as well. The Scylla was getting constantly CC'd, and the Purification just like, it couldn't bail her out of that situation. Just too much damage for her to handle.
Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things about knockups. They're the strongest form of CC. Mainly because when you use Purification, you don't immediately snap down. Once you're in the air for the duration. Catalyyyst in trouble, uses Fury a little bit late, and finds the knockup, but Grattywind finds the pluck and serves up a kill.
And that should be the dual lane tier 1 tower in the favor of Noble Esports. There is no blink available to the Kumbhakarna, or I'm sorry, there is, but there's no ultimate to follow up, so it's going to be tricky for him to try to find the defense.
Some good back and forth here, Kingdom versus Noble in our inaugural game for our SCL console league. 4-3. Read the kills, but quite a big lead as far as gold is concerned with Noble, but the experience on the side of Kingdom. How does that really happen? We don't see that too often.
It was simply because of that earlier Gold Fury that happened. There was 3 buffs that were stolen after the Gold Fury from Kingdom. They found the 3 buffs, the 2 kills, and when you have 2 members on one team not getting the experience and gold from the lanes, and you have all 5 members on your team alive, then you're getting that little bit of experience lead.
So good farming, honestly, just coming out from some of these guys. Kingdom Esports making sure to get the stuff after the stuff. Noble, on the other hand, not so much. Sealcar sticking his nose in the enemy's jungle. Going to go ahead and just carry on. 1v2. No problem for the level 17 Rom. He's got the Breastplate of Valor and the Frostbound Hammer, so extra slows on top of slows and just a whole bunch of tankiness.
And that's something that you're allowed to do as such a high-level solo laner with this amount of tankiness at this stage of the game. You can afford to poke your head around that corner just to see what's going on with the blue buff. Is the jungler here doing it? Can I harass him? Can I force a purification? Can I do anything in this situation?
Exactly. Solo laners really abuse. You see the real strong solo laners really abuse that lengthy time to kill because of how tanky they are, just by using their face as a ward, right? Very, very rarely do you see an Apollo face check a fire giant, but you expect to see that Ravana all the time.
There might be 1 or 2 players that play Apollo that might face check around the corner.
Yeah, like who?
I'm not at liberty to discuss this.
Totally bringing up yesteryear. Let's see, you've played on a team with, well, I can only think of one hunter, Totally. Ecliptium. So Kingdom Esports on the left side, looking towards that Gold Fury one more time. Toasty shows his face. That support's going to face check the Gold Fury. No vision from either team on the Gold Fury. That's been highly sought after. Shame looked like he wanted to get aggressive, but quick play from Toasty. And I love the dual corridors being used by Noble Esports. Knockup and Lou already takes out Catalyyyst very quickly, but now Lou's in trouble. 2 players surrounding him. Catalyyyst has to find a way. Grattywind could have missed a pluck, and now Toasty in some trouble, looking to cost him of his own, but he's by himself. McSaltyCakes is right behind him, but Yo-Yo looking for the push, finds it, but that's a support.
Apollo has his ultimate. He's using it around the Gold Fury side. They're going to concede this tier 2 tower on the right-hand side. It looks like they're going to try to force this Gold Fury, having the 5v4 advantage. However, yoyoabc is back and probably, no, he's not, cancels it, wants to secure the Gold Fury and concede the tier 2.
TsmaII is behind, but Noble know it. They chased him out the first time. Looks like they forgot about him the second time. Here's the blink forward from Toasty. Not going to find it, but Noble confirmed the Gold Fury. Trouble for Shame. A lot of damage being dealt to the monkey by TsmaII, but now he's in trouble being chased down by the Hunter. Toasty's going to show up. Good Sanctuary to chain right into the protection from the support. Very well played. Saved the Sanctuary to the point where he knew he was going to get out if he used it. Executed intelligently. Noble get another Gold Fury.
Gold Fury into the favor of Noble. However, they did lose their tier 2 tower on the solo lane side due to the split push from the Sealcar. So really good objective control from Kingdom. They still tried to make a play happen in a 3v5 situation around gold, but they found the tower. So taking something from their losses.
And I really like that, to see that coming out from Kingdom, as we see a lot being put on top of the soul. McSaltyCakes going to get totally fine on the backside, but the tower goes down thanks to the basics from the Sobek. Call him Tower Kill Beck. He's on top. Comes up for the ultimate right at the T-Small. Fearless power cleave. Double dash will save the life of the Nemesis. And Toasty now looking directly at the tier. All by himself. yoyoabc heals up just a little bit. Fearless into the power cleave onto SaltyCakes. And there's Shame with the overhand smash. Not going to find anything, but everybody's low. No kills yet. No target selection coming out from either team. So everyone will be alive, but everyone's 50% or lower.
A lot of relics were used. There was a perfectly timed meditation to save the life of Soul as she was getting Fearless under that wall over there. So perfect execution by both teams, keeping every single member alive right now. As it looks like Noble Esports still want to play aggressive right now. They invaded the speed buff successfully. Going to transition over to the blue, finding the plug, but good immunity.
Noble realized that they had the HP differential in their favor. Definitely a lot more health on the side of Noble, so they were able to take just a little bit of aggression they were given and just clear out the right side of the jungle. That's what you were asking for, Totally. You wanted to see Noble get more into the jungle. That's exactly what they do here.
They still have tier with Blink available to them, and there's a lot of purification being down on the side of Kingdom, so they could look to exploit that. If I'm Noble, I'm thinking, okay, we have the Blink, there's a lot of relics being down. We still have a really good team fight just with ultimates available. Their relics are still down as well, but we have the tier that can set us up very beautifully.
And that tier is also being very aggressive. He's just been pretty much a nuisance to everybody, and you can see that Jotun's Wrath. A lot of times you'll see just straight defense coming out from tier. Even something as small as Jotun's Totally can tilt you, or tilt's the wrong word because we use it differently here, but it can push you in the more offensive direction, even though Jotun's isn't really it's not a deathbringer, but it's still going to hurt.
It's a nice, cheap, affordable cooldown item that you can pick up in this situation. I would like to see him eventually, if the game extends too long, to sell that for the Mantle of Discord, allowing himself to still pick up the CDR and still having a lot of protections. However, the way Yo-Yo's been playing the tier at this stage of the game, constantly finding the knockups, even if he hasn't found them through mid lane, he'll still attempt to find them. So the aggressive mindset at this stage of the game is really on point.
Yeah, tier's definitely, or Yo-Yo's tier is definitely on the more assassin-oriented side of the warrior scale here on this tier play. And I'm liking it so far. He's occasionally, you see him not hard committing to either playstyle, which is good. He'll push the support out of the way, knowing that the Mez can hurt the whole team, or he'll just look for T-Small and push him against a wall and try to burst him down with the help of some of his teammates. So I like that yoyoabc showing both sides of the tier kit, and because of his aggression, sitting up #1 on the player damage. So yoyoabc certainly a large part of what Noble has been able to do and has been able to find as far as the kills are concerned.
Really beautiful sentry ward on the dual lane side for Lou right there. He is able to push aggressively even though he still has his tier 1 tower available. So look how far extended he is. Because of those 2 sentry wards on the dual lane side, he knows how far he could push without having to be too worried about the enemy opposition.
See Jing going to catch the Apollo back in. So Kingdom do know that the enemy Hunter is not available or in lane whatsoever. Doesn't have the Jingwei passive, so if he wants to catch up someplace quick, he's going to have to ult for it. Right now, Kingdom Esports at the 26-minute mark, trailing behind Noble by about 5K.
If I'm Noble in this situation, I'll be consistently looking for the Apollo split push on the dual lane side, force the Jing way to kind of match my rotations. And if I can force a rotation from Kingdom, maybe 2 or 3 members onto my lane, I'm going to instantly ulti on top of Fire Giant, and we are going to do it.
That's not a bad play. That's not a bad play at all, especially with the vision going in that direction. Certainly something that we might see. Does Noble have to find a pick to really commit to that, or can they just go 5 in?
They could more than likely still reset it and find a pick.
Right now, hoping to reset is going to be super. A Sanctuary used, and TsmaII now just looking for the kill. Shame trying to save the life of his mid laner. Can't find the dash. There's the ultimate from Super instead. Now going to turn around, not going to be hit, but hit from Toasty will confirm it. And there's the kill for the support. A lot of damage going Catalyyst's way. He's going to have to find a way out on the backside. Lou just dealing the damage on the other hand, trying to find and thread the needle, but now surrounded. Catalyyyst takes out Lou while Shame takes out McSaltyCakes. yoyoabc being aggressive like we said, pushing into Catalyyyst, can't find it now all by himself. Toasty blinks over the wall to a great position, and TsmaII able to take out the solo laner because of the support's ability to get behind the tier.
You have to be so careful when you're playing a mage, especially against a Nemesis who is going to be looking to all in you, and that's exactly what happened against Supra. He was targeted in that team fight very early on. He was forced to run around, try to buy as much time as possible. He couldn't find the damage. True Shame going to fall in the mid lane. Tier 1 tower is being taken as Kingdom's going to transition this into the Gold Fury, it seems. But
yeah,
you have to be more careful if you're a mage. You have to retreat into your team, not into the mid lane where there's nobody around you.
Yeah, Shame also suffered from probably a death that didn't need to happen, just defending the Tier 1 tower that was inevitably going to go down. And because of the death of the Hun Batz, Kingdom are able to turn this into a Gold Fury. Toasty shows up. They take him out as well. So just Kingdom, or excuse me, Grattywind shows up. They take him out as well. And so Kingdom Esports going to go ahead and confirm the Gold Fury, and just look at that graph. Immediately, the goal difference. We said 5K not 3 minutes ago, and now goal difference completely neutralized, whereas Kingdom still maintaining a lead in the experience.
The thing is, Noble Esports don't necessarily have to have that lead to begin with to win team fights right now. They have the Scylla ultimate available to them to constantly reset. They have the Tier and the Sobek to have a lot of CC control. As long as they're constantly playing together and looking for these picks, then they should be fine, even if they don't have that 5K goal lead that they had earlier on.
Yeah, they're just able to maintain it and looking out for what Kingdom can really give against them, honestly. Noble here, everybody's almost full build, so everybody's just sort of looking for the opportunity. I feel like Kingdom have the better composition to really create their own opportunities just by way of the Kumbhakarna ultimate, but Noble have to get a little bit crafty. If they do, somebody's dead, though. Between the Scylla ult and the control that Shame or even yoyoabc bring on the jungle and the solo, I mean, that's an instant smoked character.
You have to be careful if you're Kingdom, and then you have to be looking for plays with that Nemesis Kumba like you mentioned as well, which what they did with the Scylla, and they might find it maybe on Yo-Yo if he's not careful.
And there's the aggression onto Yo-Yo. 3v1 with the rest of Noble on the left side. Grattywind shows up, hits a knock-up, and then we'll take what he got. Everybody else from Kingdom is going to shade over to the mid lane now, walking to their left. Apollo doing exactly what you expect Apollo to do. Split push it on the left-hand side. This is very good for Noble. If they were able to just wade in this nonsense jungle fight that's not really happening, this is exactly what they want. They're running out the proverbial clock. Tier 2 tower going to go absolutely for free. And now Noble Esports tries to get fancy with Yo-Yo's blink. Not going to happen, and Kingdom have gotten nothing in the past 30 seconds.
Forces to disapparate. Apollo able to get the Tier 2 tower. Blink, Hun Batz, Fear No Evil onto TsmaII. He's taking a lot of damage, but nice Sanctuary to counter all that.
yoyoabc push. TsmaII now looking for the solo laner, and down from the sky comes Lou. Chased out of the fight. It's going to be Shame. He's not going to be here no longer, but his ultimate's already down, so no big deal. There's SaltyCakes in the middle, dealing with yoyoabc. Surrounded is the Tier, but he doesn't seem to mind. He's going to heal up real quick and then head out to the left side of your screen while everybody else looking towards the top. Level 20 Apollo, level 17 Sobek, directly into lurking in the waters. Can't find the route because of the CC immunity. So Kingdom Esports, again, don't really get much of anything, but neither do Noble. They try to aggress, and nothing really comes of it.
Nice root, nice double crush. They should have been able to take advantage of it. There's still a lot of relics available for Noble Esports. They have only committed 2 blinks on their side of the fields. They have 8 more relics to their disposal. Same story for Kingdom Esports. They have a lot of teamfight relics available to them, so there should be another interesting teamfight coming around the corner. Tears poking his head around the speed buff. Gonna use his ultimate.
Just to find a little bit more distance on TsmaII. That's the wrong Fearless. Finds a hit. Well, that's all the TsmaII will get. McSaltyCakes pops him into the Sanctuary to avoid the Scylla damage. Well played. He's going to be fine until Yo-Yo finds him, pushed into the wall. Fearless power cleave combo, not enough to kill the soul. Different story for the Apollo. He's trying to find safety, walks right into the support, but a good jig, and he's fine for now. The follow-up from Jing chasing yoyoabc and Lou very much so, and now looks like he's in trouble. Catalyyyst finds the last hit. Finally, onto the Apollo, the escape artist, not quite Houdini. yoyoabc now trying to deal with 3 players, 4 players on top of him. He's got a little bit of a shield. Fearless power cleave, not enough to take out TsmaII, and here comes the mid laner. McSaltyCakes drops the supernova, and everybody able to get out clean and clear. 1 dead on the side of Noble, everyone alive for Kingdom.
Good zoning tool by the Soul, not allowing the rest of Noble Esports to capitalize on that double. Fearless coming out of Yo-Yo. So even though they lost 1 person right now is Noble, they can still easily defend this Fire Giant objective right now. Golfier's still down blink. On to Toasty. Can he find the solo kill?
That doesn't look like it. Very tanky is that Kumbhakarna. You can see the Talaria boots, the only thing that aren't tanky in his lineup. He's got double auras plus a pestilence building into something even more so. It's going to be the Mantle of Discord. Tons of gold on this Kumbhakarna. 2-0 and 8. I mean, this guy is just tank city.
He also has the speed buff available to him, so this is going to be really scary to see a speed buff Kumbhakarna.
Kumbhakarna! It's Kumbhakarna, Tully.
That's something in your nightmares.
Kumbhakarna. Backside, Kingdom Esports going to clean up some mid-harpies, or back harpies, excuse me. Everybody now positioning on the right side of the map. This deep into the game, this is really where the dance is. It's all about Fire Giant. A single team fight pretty much at this point in the game can win it all for either team, whoever finds the upper hand in these small skirmishes.
So this is where Noble Esports should just play super patient right now. Let Kingdom try to do the plays right now. Play passive. Let the Apollo sit on the dual lane side of things right now. You got the tier 2 tower. If you can force Jing to deal with you in the dual lane, then you can rotate over. But the Apollo in the meantime is going to force the Golthier right now while that's available. Soul's going to pick up her own red.
And the only reason Apollo's doing this is because the ability to go ahead and ultimate over should there be a fight from Kingdom. You know, very frequently when I see a Hun Batz, I want that team to be the counter engage. I feel like Fear No Evil is one of the best tools to really disrupt an enemy plan.
Especially when you have a Sobek as well as a tier. There's a lot of uncontrollable movement that if I'm Kingdom Esports, I'm really worried about those 3 gods in particular, especially if there's going to be follow-up from the Scylla with that late-game Scylla damage. It's going to be very scary. And that's the power that Noble has right now, is that Scylla Apollo, forcing people on the left side if you're Apollo, and then just having to worry about that AoE if you're Scylla.
Just having so many options, yeah, Noble. And it's all just craziness. Right now, Kingdom trailing by 4K, everything about even though because of the fact that everybody's pretty much full build. Going to start up the Fire Giant. Separated out, it's going to be 1 player, and the Ravana's going to give chase onto the Scylla. Here comes Grattywind, Fire Giant already very low. Kingdom Esports do secure it. Grattywind can't find the steal, so the blue squad going to go north, look directly for the Sobek. There's the blink from Toasty. Can't find the root just yet. It's dodged out by the support player, and there's Shame's ultimate trying to find TsmaII. Very low is the jungler. Coming over the top from Super, can't find the hit. Catalyyyst just trying to find an exit as well. Uses the ultimate. McSaltyCakes takes out Lou. yoyoabc 1v2 now. He's level 20. Toasty's only 18. That doesn't matter too much when that's the Guardian. 3v1. yoyoabc still going to get out. Tons of tanky options on the tier. But Kingdom do what they want. They push him out and now look towards the tier 2 tower. Already down goes the structure, and Shame's got to find a way out.
And during all that, Lou was able to pick up the left side Phoenix. He sacrificed himself as McSaltyCakes did make the rotation just a little bit too late, unfortunately, not being able to defend that left-hand side. However, all 5 members with Fire Giant, if I'm Kingdom Esports, I'm looking to push out this left-hand side first, so that way you can fight Fire Wave with a Fire Wave.
Sealcar comes right the dangerous way and just starts tanking the tier 1 tower. Noble Esports have no desire to really guard a tier 1. There's really no reason. It's just 500 gold, 100 per player. Not a big deal.
Especially when Lou is still dead for 15 seconds. They're going to have to concede this tier 2 tower right now as well.
And they're going to isolate McSaltyCakes, and that is 1 dead mage. Excellent pathing coming out from the jungler. Shame really making it work. TsmaII chases Supra all the way back to the base, right into the Phoenix. And now this tier 2 tower going to go down. Kingdom Esports collected another 1,500. yoyoabc looking for blood. Fearless got 2, but then immediately stunned out. Fantastic play from the Kumbhakarna, as per usual. Grattywind going to zone, but he's all by himself. 1v3, going to hit. And the follow-up from Noble, not quite enough. Can't find the kills onto Kingdom.
With Lou respawning, they wanted to commit really hard after the tier 2 did fall. Some damage was dealt onto Kingdom Esports, like you mentioned. The Hunbats, beautiful, flanked, making sure that McSaltyCakes instantly dropped. However, it looks like Sobek's going to be a little bit of trouble. Caught in 4 people right now.
Sealcar power cleaved after the Fearless. Not too much, as both solo laners extremely tanky. 3 players here on the left-hand side as Kumbhakarna is separated from the squad. Half HP or less is Grattywind. You can see yoyoabc by himself, daring somebody from Kingdom to really aggress onto him by themselves. Shame's ultimate already up one more time. Catalyyyst gets crit, and there's the follow-up, but the turnaround crits are stronger, and the Hunter takes down the Hun Batz. Knocked in the skies, yoyoabc trying to avenge his teammate. Can't find the hits on the Catalyyyst, who finds the escape over the Gold Fury. Triple Mez, now no CC for Supra, so the hit from Scylla not going to find a target, and TsmaII chased out. Sanctuary on cooldown. Double dash is fine, and now nobody from Noble wants to chase that. Catalyyyst, different story. Pops up, no dash. Backside finds the kill on Lou. Now being chased. Zoned out is Yo-Yo. Well played by Salty, and Supra gets a kill. Grattywind out by the skin of his teeth. And very well played by Noble. They lose 2, but they find one themselves. TsmaII falls.
Not able to get a Phoenix in return, however. So this Fire Giant siege right now hasn't been really efficient if I'm Kingdom Esports right now.
Absolutely
Just due
not.
to simply because of the fact that Lou was able to split push on the left-hand side, as we do have pause right now. We're able to see these team fights right now. The way it's been orchestrated around for both teams, Kingdom has been playing together for the most part, doing a good job kiting, especially that last team fight, just all around behind the Gold Fear. We saw that crush over the wall by Supra at the end, got that last kill, which was nice. But if I'm Noble, I have to find a way to isolate somebody. So Hunbats has been doing a good job in the last engagement. We'll see if he can do it again in the future.
Exactly. Noble's been playing a very good defensive game. Just being able to find the small wins where they can, and more importantly, mitigate the big stuff that Kingdom tries to find. Keep in mind, I mean, Kingdom has had the Fire Giant this entire time, and Noble has been able to at least not come on top. They lost 1 to 2, but they were able to mitigate what Kingdom brought. This is the second push onto the Phoenix. It will be successful, but now Shame looking for blood. Catalyyyst very low. Sealcar as well. You can see Grattywind slowing down the Ravana. He's going to be in some trouble if he can't be fancy. The flip hits Toasty. Knocked him in the air, but the last hit going to be dealt by Shame. And after the cooldown of the passive, yoyoabc gets credit for it. McSaltyCakes dashing away. Sobek unlikely to catch up.
Apollo's in the air, however, he might be able to catch up. He has a lot of mana to his disposal. He's more than likely going to commit to this chase.
And there's the dash. Knockup is gone as well. Apollo can't seem to catch up until now. And there it is. Lou takes out SaltyCakes. Now the number 2 tower going to fall down at mid unless it can be answered. There's a teleport, but there's 5 players in red here. Teleport going to be dissuaded, and Noble continues towards the Fire Giant, or the Phoenix rather, one more time.
That's beautiful play right now. You have 5 members if you're Noble Esports. You should be able to get this. Lou is going to get forced out from the Ravana. He's going to be the first victim of this team fight. Mid Phoenix is still standing. Hunbat's going to zone out some members.
And TsmaII in some trouble now. He's by himself, walks into the Scylla damage, but a quick shield saves the life of the Nemesis for now. Yo-Yo wants to change that, turns around. Fearless, power cleave doesn't find it, but the Phoenix is down, and Noble get what they came for.
They got the mid Phoenix. They could transition over to the left side, but they have to be super careful right now because they are a little bit low. Shame is in the yellow as well as Grattywind, so they're going to take the win right now. They got the middle Phoenix, and the left side Phoenix, they can go back to that whenever they want. It is weak, and it's going to be very easy to do later on, especially when you have Apollo split pushing.
Tight game here, folks. Noble lead by about 2,000 gold. Gold's pretty relevant. The experience as well. Everybody really reaching level 20. As we're 40 minutes into this contest. 14 kills to 10 at the moment. Kingdom leading by 4. But the pressure really all Nobles as they've taken out the mid Phoenix. Waiting on the left-hand side. Left Phoenix is down for Noble. So a little bit of back and forth. This one's really close. And we're going to see Kingdom start at the Fire Giant.
When the Apollo revives, he has to go to the left-hand side, and this is why Kingdom Esports is trying to force this Fire Giant. If you're not going to deal with us at the fire, our left side is going to flood into yours.
Yo-Yo is so aggressive, and he's forcing the ultimates from Kumba onto himself, which is exactly what your solo laner wants to do. There's the ultimate from Shame right on top of Toasty. And left-hand side is going to be tough.
And now that Apollo's coming crashing in on top of TsmaI's gonna mess out the dash. He could be in a lot of trouble. TsmaI is gonna get plucked by the Sobek as well. Gonna use the Sanctuary to run away right now.
And there's the overhand smash. Grattywind gets credit for the Nemesis kill. Very low is yoyoabc trying to find an exit on the right side. He will. Sealcar finds an exit on the south. And Sobek joins the rest of his team as well. So Noble Esports now find 1 kill for none. Well played by Noble. Nobody gets the Fire Giant just yet.
And the Titan of Noble is taking a lot of damage. That is might be a wave and a half. There's going to be a second wave on top of that. Batz having to defend right now, and if there's too many members retreating, then it looks like Kingdom could be able to do the fire jump, but they're going to give that up.
Somebody rang the dinner bell. They're going to back as well. Kingdom goes home. Noble goes home. Everybody's going to go ahead and rejoin the party in a little bit. Just a couple more minutes until we see these teams one more time fight over Fire Giant. And the extra safety again, because at this point in the game, totally, a single team fight can and potentially will win the game. You show up for Fire Giant, you try to get the objective. If it goes your way, you can take this one to the cleaners. But if it doesn't, well, you're going to clean up.
You say a single team fight, I say a single root, a single crush,
yeah,
a single I'm a monster can easily win this game.
Now, one of those things is not like the other. A root, all right, you get some strong CC. A crush, all right, I'm a monster. We've literally seen that ability win games. So one of those sticks out just a little bit. Sealcar going to poke a little bit, but team's not really taking each other's bait just yet.
Looks like there's going to be a little bit of aggression. It looks like Kingdom is going to be able to control the wards around the Fire Giant. Lou is going to be able to split push on the left-hand side. This is what Noble wants to do. Utilize the fact that they do have an Apollo with split pushing potential. Late game hyper carry damage out of Jing and Soul is going to allow Kingdom to get this Fire Giant if Noble doesn't contest it.
Yeah, Fire Giant already half HP just by the Soul by herself. You can see Grattywind going to chase him out. There's the jump in place from Yo-Yo. He's already ulted. That's trouble. And then McSaltyCakes take out yoyoabc's tier. Grattywind pops out from the ultimate, trying to stop Sealcar from progressing onto his mage. Looking for it. Doesn't have the cooldown available just yet. But the crush will do the zone job. So Sealcar stops in his tracks. Now turns on to Grattywind, poking him down. While Kingdom, on the other hand, aggresses on the Fire Giant. Half HP for the big man. Grattywind slowly making his way here. And Kingdom secure the Fire Giant, but Shame takes out Kata. Jumping out is Shame. He takes one. Looks like he's going to be fine until TsmaII catches up. But a quick blink, and it's all monkey business.
Apollo is going to split push still on the left-hand side. This reminds me actually of the launch tournament against COG when we had Zapman split push the left-hand side, and he was able to get the Titan while we forced a 4v5 engagement. Not able to replicate that, unfortunately, for Lou, but I like the idea behind that regardless.
That's the big brother version of the Gold Fury sneak, where your hunter with lifesteal just sits there and starts attacking. He's just like, I mean, if they don't show up, we'll just get it, right? So Lou just pushes. He's like, all right, I'm just going to push this up. I'll join the fight when I need to. Okay, I'm going to get this Phoenix. I'll join this fight when I need to. Guys, I got the Titan down to half HP. I'll join the fight if I need to. And if Kuba never showed up, Lou never would have shown up. And that Titan was going down, but unable to really make it happen. Kingdom successfully defend their base.
And now that card has been revealed from Noble. Now it's going to be a lot more trickier. If I'm Kingdom, I'm thinking, okay, our left side is open right now. We're going to have to put some good wards outside. We got to see if this Apollo is going to be split pushing, because if that push happens with a fire wave and not a regular wave, that Titan is gone in that one wave, just like that. So Kingdom has to play super careful.
With that said, the only real vision we see on the map belongs to Noble. They've got 2 wards coming out on the pathways to Fire Giant, and then one very aggressive down by the enemy's walkways in the jungle. Funny enough, that's exactly where Kingdom has their ward, and they want to protect the blue buff still. That's that solo lane mentality.
Just got to make sure you always get the blue.
Sentry on the blue buff, 45 minutes in the game. Need to have that blue buff available. That's that totally Matty Pocket lifestyle. No, how dare you?
Nobody's taking our blue. I'll die for this. But no, realistically though, Apollo is transitioning over to the right-hand side. He is thinking about potentially still split pushing, maybe coming in at a different angle as well. He might be able to get the tier 2 tower. So he got this dual lane tier 2 tower early on. Now that the fact that Kingdom is going to be split pushing the dual lane, now he's moving over to the soul lane side of things, just basically cutting a line in the middle, just flipping things around.
I just switching it around, seeing what he can do in the other lane. To keep in mind that mid Phoenix also pretty vulnerable as well. So a lot of options for Noble to really go for, whether they want the right side or the mid side. Of course, the right one is the easiest to siege once you get that fire giant available to you. So that's why we see teams really focus on the lane away from the fire giant. Intelligent stuff coming out from the guys on Noble to split push the furthest lane from the fire giant.
And this is simply because Kingdom have to protect their dual lane side right now. They don't have a Phoenix in that side, so there's going to be fire waves coming in, and they have to be super careful about that, using their fire giant to their advantage, all grouping up right now. Nemesis looking for somebody around the corner, and she's going to retreat to the rest of her team as Apollo's going to split push on the right.
Now, that's the beauty of Kumbhakarna. His burst always exists. It doesn't fall off late game. It's still there, partially because his burst is your team burst. So just waiting in the corner, somebody to come around, not thinking intelligently, and just get popped up and popped down is exactly what Kingdom were looking for. Noble get smart, and they come from different angles, so Kingdom have to group up together, and they'll find their push on the left side.
And I like the fact that the Kingdom sent over Sealcar on the solo lane side just to make sure he matches the split push with the Apollo. He has teleport available, so he can match the rotation of the Apollo whenever needed to.
There's a split push coming out from Sealcar.
He just wants to make sure that it's going to be pushed up as far as possible, so that way if Apollo does commit to the split push, it's going to take a long travel time to get to that tier 2 tower and then the Phoenix.
Kingdom doing the same as a unit now in the mid lane. And you see this a lot from the SPL teams on the PC side of things, where the solo laner will push up one lane and the other 4 will push up a lane by themselves, either take it a step further and they put 1, 3, and 1 and they just push towards the end. But Kingdom Esports definitely putting their strength in their solo laner. You can see that this Ravana has had a big impact, 0 and 3, but you can't leave off those assists. 9 assists in total, and he's done a slew of damage. Number 2 on his team, number 3 overall. Tier still sitting up there on number 2.
Even though the Ravana is 0-3, his job is to follow up off of the Nemesis ulti on top of Supra. Make sure the Scylla's away from the teamfight whenever possible. Just getting her out would allow Kingdom to play aggressive on whoever else is in the front line for Noble.
Yeah, Robin's job here is really just to be annoying. He's going to slow you, he's going to punish you, and if you decide to turn around, his build is going to punish you. Shane's looking for some punishment of his own. Ultimate's Kata, but really nothing comes of it. That's rough for Noble Esports.
Purification was used on Jing, so that could be a good target potentially for Sobek pluck or Tier Blink Fearless on top of that target.
Push coming out from Kingdom has been delayed. They showed up in the mid lane. The ultimate from Shames Hun Batz really honestly didn't have any success, but just that strip of the beads onto Catalyyyst was enough to dissuade the push. I think Kingdom probably had a little bit more juice in the tank, but having that Hunter be vulnerable is definitely a big part. I mean, look at that, 35k player damage. That's a lot above anybody else, and definitely number 1 of the team. Kata has been a huge, if not the big part of Kingdom's push, and so with him being a little bit more vulnerable, they want to protect their 7-3 and 500.
A lot of that damage is also the fact that the explosive bolts does that AoE damage, especially with a lot of these teamfights that have been going around were in tight corridors around the fire giant behind the Gold Fury pit, so that area of effect damage is favoring Kingdom Esports right now, and Catalyyyst is going to be looking to do a lot of damage on top of McSaltyCakes to this fire giant, and Noble has to find a way to respond.
Shame on the right side, has ultimate available, drops it right down, looking for Kata. That's the target. No beads, no purification. There is an escape, though. The jump from Shame goes the other way, and Catalyyyst able to turn on the monkey. There's the kill for the Hunter. No turnaround so far. Catalyyyst going to go ahead and back underneath the tower. Keep in mind that passive will have him back in the fray immediately. The push from Apollo gets them a left Phoenix. Mid Phoenix going to go down as well. xxLOU, X is on fire. Looking at these structures. Xingwei going to go ahead and fight and take him out by himself very quickly. Catalyyyst on top of Lou. Lou might have gotten 2 Phoenixes, but Kingdom are looking for the fire giant now.
Now, it looks like Noble is going to probably concede this. A lot of members are backing right now. Getting those 2 Phoenixes was very important right now. If you're going to concede Fire Giant, you better get something in return. So that was a valuable trade right now if I'm Noble. They could have potentially still had Yo-Yo peek his head around this corner trying to find the steal with the Lawbringer right now, but not going to find as the Kumbhakarna is going to epic uppercut him.
And he should be fine. I think we'll see a safe tier escape there. And honestly, you know, very well played. I got to give credit to Shame, because there, that split push, 5v4 with the Apollo split pushing doesn't work this late in the game. There's just too much burst. So what happens is Shame engages onto the enemy to make sure that there's not a clean team fight. There's not a straight 5v4. Shame's going to separate one. He tried to find the quick isolation kill and then snowball it into a 4v4. Didn't happen, but even then he just kept zoning. And that time allowed the two Phoenixes to go down. So Batz traded his life, but it could have been 3 dead instead of 2. Now Kingdom going to take their Fire Giant, look towards the Phoenix. There's another ultimate from Shame, sending 3 people in the wrong way. Toasty very low on the backside. SaltyCakes in trouble as well. Super off the mark, can't find the accuracy, but SaltyCakes falls anyway. yoyoabc with a successful defensive kill. TsmaII now turning around, half HP for the tier. He's going to be chased by the tier and the Sobek and the Lou. Apollo comes down, misses the Mez, misses the Beautiful, but there's the slow and there's the hit. Grattywind gets credit for it, off of the assist of the entire team. Noble collapse on the jungler, and TsmaII going to sit out for 70+.
And during all that, Catalyyyst was somehow able to find the left side Phoenix as the team fight happened around the mid side as well. So both Phoenixes for the middle and the left-hand side for both teams are available. However, Noble has 5 members, whereas Kingdom only has 3, and this could spell a lot of trouble as they're pushing down the mid lane. If they find one more pick, this could easily be the Titan.
Yeah, this is the situation this late game happens where you're sitting out for 70 seconds, 75 seconds at times. So not only does one kill mean a lot more, but if you start to stagger the death clocks, where it's just one player coming up every 20 seconds, you can just auto-win the game if you play your cards right, and that's exactly what Noble are looking for. The ultimate from Shame comes out of the backside. Lou's going to be in trouble, but ABC follows up. Right into the waters goes Sobek. Everybody's surrounding Sealcar. He's in trouble, can't find the exit. Will finally kick on through. And when Catalyyyst shows up, it's a different story. The one Jing way, able to push the enemy off. Titan still has yet to take a lot of damage.
And right now, they haven't been able to penetrate into the Titan room. Noble's going to have to pop their sprint and run away as the soul has revived right now. But Catalyyyst recognizing this, trying to find Scylla, not able to find it.
Yeah, Catalyyyst has been lights out for this squad. Now, not even mentioning the player damage that he's sitting up on top by 5,000, but that was a push from Noble that was looking to win the game, looking to find the kills to win the game, and Catalyyyst by himself pushed out a team of 5. He hit 2 crits, and everybody said, I don't want that. And they all just turned around.
And the way that the Kumbhakarna and the Ravana were able to just go into the backline of Noble as well. The fact that the Hunbats and the tier initiated in the backline, trying to find Catalyyyst, weren't able to. The rest of the members from Noble were stuck in Kumbhakarna and Ravana territory, and that's somewhere that you don't want to be as a squishy without protection. So if I'm Noble, the way they're playing is pretty solid in terms of forcing purification. However, when they go for round 2, they commit too hard. We saw at that Fire Giant fight when the Hunbats went all in on top of the Catalyyyst. He committed too hard. He jumped in. He didn't have an escape afterwards, and so therefore he needs to recognize when to disengage.
Engaging this time is going to be Shame. You see him glowing gold as he's CC immune. Toasty in some trouble. Half HP given out by Lou, and there's the push. Fearless power cleave. Right side, you hear the ultimate coming out from Batz. Ultimate from Supernova as well. Supra again off the mark with I'm a Monster, but Lou able to find it after the Scylla finds the crush. Served up and pushed into the wall. The catch from Tier, absolutely incredible. Double kill for xxLOU, and the push coming out from Noble is on. Up in the air goes Apollo, looking for the kills on the right side as everybody else chased Toasty. Couple of more basics. Sealcar goes down, but a strong kick can't save the life after a couple of basics into the dome. SaltyCakes in some trouble, but ultimately a little bit safer than his support. Dissipate will work, and the rest of Noble turn their attention towards the lane.
3-for-nothing trade right now. It could be 4 if there's follow-up off of Yo-Yo right now, and this is why you pick Tier. You get a game-winning Fearless. This is why they also have Scylla. You could get a game-winning Crush combination as well. So Noble having the advantage right now. This time it's a 5-on-2 situation, not a 5-on-3. However, the Hunbats should be able to make this a 5-on-1 with only Toasty alive.
Well played by the entirety of Noble. You saw that. I thought so. It looked like the Miracle Man was going to be Yo-Yo by himself. He gets part 1 of the victory. Can't find the hot blink Fearless number 2, but Shame is there to pick up the slack. Shame goes 4-3-8. The tier goes 4-4-11, and Lou 6, 6, and 8. Well played by Noble. They're going to take game number 1 in 54 minutes exactly.
Just one assist too much for Lou, unfortunately. Just one too many.
Well played. Honestly, what a great game to really start our broadcast off with. Just two very evenly matched teams. Watching a stomp, it's only fun if you're on the team that's doing the stomping. So this one was a little bit fun. We'll take a look at Lou just really crushing it.
And right now, the way Lou played outside of team fights, as well as being good objectively, he always found the gold furies whenever he needed to in the late game around the 70,000 gold mark, able to find multiple Phoenixes, the left side twice, the mid lane as well, backdooring that to his disposal, utilizing Apollo beautifully throughout the game.
That's the thing that I was going to bring up specifically. Apollo was played. It wasn't just a hunter that happens to be Apollo. This was Lou playing Apollo with the split push and then finding the fights that he knew he could take. 1v1, and that's the beautiful catch by Yo-Yo and the follow-up from the rest of the team.
That was a game-winning fearless right there for Noble.
And look at Lou's target selection, right? He goes, all right, I know I'm not going to kill the support, so I'll go after Sealcar. He's low enough, lands right on top. The So Beautiful will be immune, and then the follow-up basic right on top, able to take out the tanky solo lane Ravana. So really, Lou, no surprise here. He's been a pillar in this hunter role for a long time in the PC scene. And then Shame really has been doing a lot of work on the console side. As I said, previously playing for Epsilon, now under Noble, and what a good addition to this squad.
He forced a lot of purifications and a lot of team fights, flanking on top of McSaltyCakes. Delayed Kingdom from getting their first Fire Giant siege to be successful, and he's the reasoning why he was able to make sure that Kingdom didn't find a comeback in this game.
What I really liked about Shame's play on the Hun Batz was that he was finding the angles. A lot of times in high level play, Hun Batz is either not allowed to find those angles, or it's really just you need to save those ultimates for the counter engage. Noble realized that Kingdom weren't really going all in like their Nemesis Kumbhakarna composition really dictated. So instead, you found Shame coming around the backside, dropping the totem, just trying to find a single kill off of the totem. Really fun stuff out of Shame.
We're gonna see.